is being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement, the Cape May Star and Wave, and the Herald on the Township website and posted on the bulletin board of Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Neville.
Here.
Councilmember Simonson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Here.
Mayor Beck.
Here. Okay, there's nothing on the work session. We move down to consent agenda. Is there any council comments on the consent agenda? Open up for public comments on the consent agenda. Close the public portion. Joel?
Approval of the New Jersey State Firemen's Membership Application for Brian A. Rogers Jr. to the Town Bank Volunteer Fire Company. Approval of minutes, October 20, 2014. Resolution number 2014-289 through Resolution 2014-296.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad.
Yes.
Councilmember Neville.
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Resolution number 2014-297. This is authorizing the payment of vouchers in the amount of $9,230. For EDA, $4,930, and for Craig Testing, $4,300. These are for the Department of Public Safety Building.
Okay, council comments? Open up for public comments on this resolution. Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve? I move.
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad.
No.
Councilmember Neville.
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson.
No.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Resolution number 2014-298. A resolution authorizing the solicitor to expand collection of information and evidence for presentation to the local finance board and Attorney General's office regarding mismanagement and or official misconduct of board members of the Lower Township Municipal Utilities Authority.
Council comments?
Real quick, Mr. Solicitor, did we pass the last investigation to the prosecutor already?
We did.
Okay, because then to expand, that just doesn't make sense to me. We have it being investigated, and there's a bunch of different rumors about what happened and everything else, and why we're going here. We already had a prosecutor investigation not too long ago at the MUA in which arrest was made. So it's just beating a dead horse to me.
Well, what we're doing is this, and this is essentially, after I looked at this, and council passed the resolution at the last meeting, which was to refer that matter, a time period between October 2nd and October 20th, to any possible relevant enforcement agency, which included the county prosecutor's office. That was done, the local finance board and the Attorney General's office. And it was limited in scope of time. I think at your request, the resolution, it was approved. When looking at the statute to send it to the local finance board under 40A 5A-1, the finance board would be looking at possible mismanagement of the MUA. And it wouldn't make sense to send them just the time period between October 2nd and October 20th. If you're going to ask them to make that decision, to review that, then they would probably have to look at anything that's relevant to mismanagement during any time period. And that's what this resolution, the purpose of this resolution, to expand that time frame.
Okay, I think it's been running very well since the new board took over, so we'll go from there.
I just have, does that interfere with the ongoing investigation that's already being, because the prosecutor's office is not finished with their investigation, correct?
I don't know. I don't even know if they got started or if they're certainly.
Well, it got started because they made an arrest and they convicted.
You're talking about the other one.
About the first one,
Yeah.
because we've referred in response to the resolution adopted at the last meeting, we've made a submission to the county prosecutor's office, the basis of which was the presentation made by Councilman Clark. That's been done.
Right, for that time period. If we go the other, doesn't that delve into what they're doing as well?
It may or may not, but
But we find that out first?
I think the county prosecutor's office is looking at criminal allegations. The local finance board would be looking at something much, much broader, and certainly not something that's necessarily criminal, but what would fall under the heading of mismanagement, which could be
Administrative.
administrative and encompass many, many different.
Well, should that be revised then as to just the local finance board? I'm just asking because, like I said, there's already,
Well, the finance board it's a state agency, and if you've been up there, the man sitting to the left of Tom Neff is a deputy attorney general. So you in effect really are going to the attention of the attorney general's office. So whether you amended that to take that out or not, you're still going to have contact with the attorney general's office by making a referral to the local finance board.
Right, and when I made the proposed motion, I was talking about the county prosecutor as well as the state finance board, as well as the attorney general. We were specifically wanting we referenced the law pertaining to the state finance's ability to look at mismanagement. We were specifically concerned about the misappropriation of funds using public money for a public relations campaign. And so that activity, which was cited and discussed, needs to be, we need to expand the scope.
And that's all I'm saying, is that if that's what you want to accomplish, then you need to look at more than the time period between October 2nd, October 20th.
right, and that's what I'm asking.
all.
If we do that, are we then impeding on an ongoing investigation that's already taken place? Because
I don't think you're going to impede. It's information.
you don't think or you know. I mean, I
This is the state finance board, not
This
the...
this is administrative, it's not criminal. They're not dredging up criminal misconduct. That is what the prosecutor's looking at. This is administrative. It's looking at the same authority, but looking at it from a different perspective.
Well, the county, I mean, I can tell you this, that county prosecutors fall under the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General, then the county prosecutors under the Attorney General, then your chiefs of police under the county prosecutor.
It would not be surprised if they dialogued anyway. That's,
Right. Well, you would-
and you know, it's the
think.
same with the prosecutor. You can't sit back and say, well, we only want you to look at this. That doesn't make sense. I mean, you might say, well, this is what has come to our attention. And in looking at that, something else comes to his attention. And this is the same thing here. The scope of this needs to expand, because what you're looking at is an administrative investigation with the, under the heading of, the MUA, misconduct, mismanagement, those things. And it cannot be limited to just one specific instance. And that's, I think, why it's being expanded. So, that's basically where we're at. We'll open it up to public comment on this. If somebody wishes to come forward and say something, certainly. I see a hand.
Mayor Beck, Deputy Mayor, Norris Clark, Councilman, I apologize for missing the last meeting. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize what was taking place, and I planned a vacation, and I went across the country by car. I was gone for 3 weeks. However, if I would have been here, I would have said absolutely nothing, as I haven't in the last 6 months, when you've done a great job of belittling me by putting me down, bullying council members. But as far as mismanagement, we at the MUA followed in your footsteps. We didn't hire we didn't hire without bids an architect and give him $400,000+. We did advertise for help, but so did you. We didn't have a Facebook. We did a lot of things according to the way you managed, and now it's told it's mismanagement. I can't believe it. Tonight's a very big night. It's either kudos or shame on all of you. Tomorrow will tell. You fought a good fight. You took it way too far and beyond by forgetting about all the more important business and just using two things to try to destroy so many innocent people. I already know what happened to Matt Ecker. If I wasn't conscientious, we would have lost all the employees and he would still be here because he had the support in certain people, even on council. Thank God the prosecutor, Cape May County, they saw the light. So good luck, and again, I'm going to say it now because I don't want anybody to get upset. After tomorrow, to the victor goes the spoils. Have a nice night.
I'm not sure I know how to answer that, but does anybody else have a comment? Okay, close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move.
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad?
No.
Councilmember Neville?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Okay.
Move down to administrative reports. Anybody have a comment or question on that? Go to council comments.
Key thing, I know this is not going to get out, but to the people here, and I think it's pretty safe to say, vote no on the school question tomorrow. Other than that, have a good night, and please vote.
Jimmy?
Well, same for the vote no on the schools. We did a lot of knocking on doors last few weeks, and that is one question that everybody seems to be very, very well educated on. They don't want Cape May to get out of the regional school district. They don't want to see the schools be handicapped with what they'll be able to provide for the students, because what would happen to the district if Cape May's money isn't there, and they would want their kids being educated for pennies. And the Clubhouse Road project is probably going to be done past the contract date, because I believe that was today. So we'll still get a nice road, but it's going to be at a reduced price because the contractor will have to pay the penalty for not getting done in time. It'll be interesting to see the MUA's budget, to see how much they have in the line item under penalties or fines to the DEP, because from what I understand, the water that is being provided to Town Bank is to prevent people from having the volatile organic compounds that were in the areas back in Town Bank. That's also a requirement that the MUA test the wells for volatile organic compounds. And I don't believe they did it in the second or the third quarters. And I do see somebody who I tried to help educate on sampling, and I suggested he looks tomorrow at the chain of custody records to see if that was done, because if they can find it, that would be good. If not, then the DEP will be issuing a fine.
All right.
Just to, like the rest of council, mayor and deputy mayor, just to encourage you to get out and vote, and please encourage your neighbors, friends, family, no matter what candidate you vote for, please remind them to not just vote, for a candidate, but to look at that question and make sure that they vote on it. It's very important that they don't skip over that. I won't tell you how to vote on it, but we all know what the outcome will be for each the yes or no. So just remind people to pay close attention to, and a lot of people skip over them in elections, and it's very important that we get everybody out to vote. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Well, I'm just grateful when I consider all the things that we've been disagreeing on over the last 6 months, that we're all agreed that we care about our school and that we want to stay together as a school and as a regional high school. And we all agreed that it would be bad for the kids. And I think we should appreciate the fact that we're all on the same page on that. I took the opportunity at the request of Exit Zero to share my thoughts on what this meant especially I was hoping to reach out and speak to the people that are going to be voting in Cape May. I see the whole dissolution of the school system as kind of like divorce. It really is a divorce, and it hurts the kids. The only people that make out well in divorce is usually the attorneys, but the kids get hurt in the end. And there's what we're seeing now is a discussion about funding. It's kind of like child custody, and it's kind of like child payments. And at the end of the day, it tears at the bonds and the foundation of what we hold dear as a society. Now, if we all vote no, that doesn't put an end to this, unfortunately. It's not going to be any surprise that the vast majority, if not everybody, in Lower Township votes no. What we want to see is how many folks that are in Cape May vote no. I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that that we should vote no. I've seen the vote no signs in Cape May, because it's my prayer that the vote comes in strong enough in Cape May so that the elected officials that are coming in, there's 3 new people coming in, it's my prayer that they will step back and stop this. And that's what it's going to take, because really their strategy is for this election. They know they're going to lose this vote. That's part of the strategy. Their strategy is to take it on up to the state, drag it out for years, finally get it to a judge, which is their hope that they have a shot at getting some judge somewhere that's going to give them some accommodation on the issue of funding. But that's going to cost us all for years to come. So the prayer should be not just vote no, but a lot of people in Cape May voting no, and that the signal comes loud and clear to the elected officials that there's a lot of people on both sides of the canal that recognize that our schools are the most important thing we do as a society. We don't come to our schools counting how many kids we have. We come counting what our property values are and how much we can give to support it. And as I've said before, when we open up our tax bill and when we walk into our schools, we have a good deal. And I think a lot of folks in Cape May are realizing that they have a good deal and a good benefit from what they've been putting into it. So let's pray that the message gets to our elected officials in Cape May as well.
Yeah, there's some unsung heroes. I took note of the article on the school board member from Cape May that,
Bud Sundstrom.
yeah, and that takes courage, to swim against the tide and to sit back and say, well, the kids come first. So, I tip the hat to him. The Taxpayers Association also has been part of the team that has led our response since we were somewhat handcuffed by the issue, by our constraints. So they get a tip of the hat also.
Mayor, may I
Yes.
make an announcement?
Go ahead.
Just saddened to report, as you know, but share with the public here tonight, that we lost one of our Public Works employees, a valued employee, George Lutzkis, 51 years old, over the weekend. So keep him in your prayers. And also, I've authorized the family, we consulted with the son today, Gary and I, to comfort him, and I authorized them to use the Millman for a reception after the funeral on Saturday morning.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll open up for public comment. If somebody wishes to address council, step forward. Yes, sir.
John Skorowski, 607 Arctic Avenue. I have attended most, if not all, the township meetings for many years, and I would like to just let the independent council members know, Mr. Beck, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Neville, know that I am proud of the job you have done as council members for our township. I remember how bad things were before you guys got on council, and it's refreshing to see how well you have done. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address council? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Favor? Aye. It's unanimous.